Ready, set, go. Like you talked about safe places and listening to other people's opinions and likes and dislikes. Do you have a favorite place in Argentina that is like that?
Well, we can have some of those places. I think we try to create them, like workshops, cultural activities. But Argentina is a very big country, and so it has many different places from north to south, which can be very different from each other. So you just have to be in contact with your feelings, to yourself, and try to pick up the space or the place that you like the most.
And let's say someone wants to start a cultural activity with Argentinians, either in Argentina or in his or her own country, or their own country. What would you recommend? Like where to start?
Well, maybe if the internet is a source where you can find many things, many activities. Well, for example, couch surfing. I have just been introduced to the world of couch surfing, but I see that there are many cultural activities there, language exchanges all around the world. So that can be a very good place to get to know about the cultural activities of a place which is near you, because it also has this like GPS that tells you what cultural activities there are near your place. So that is pretty cool.
Okay, that reminds me of something similar that I heard, that like it was a project of students, which I can maybe not describe in too much detail because it was still in the development, but it was supposed to solve the problem that many people in Iceland don't know about the cultural activities in their own neighborhood.
Ah.
And so I think I totally agree that like networking is very important about cultural activities, and I think I have noticed that let's say if you want to plan a cultural activity, you have to inform people on social networks, and the friends and the friends of your friends, and you've seen my other YouTube videos that came down to the idea that Iceland works like Facebook. Everybody knows everybody, and everybody knows someone who knows something. Is that similar in Argentina, that you have to rely on someone who knows someone who knows someone?
Yeah, I think that works all around the world. Well, actually, that is the way I met you. Because I knew someone from couch surfing that connected me to this place where we met, Andrimi, and there we met. I told you about my willingness to know a school, to visit a school, and then you asked for my email address, and we started to get into contact. So
the email address, yes, the phone didn't work.
Exactly. Remember? Yes. So that is the way I met you. Yes,
but it feels like I have known you forever, and those are the best. Those are the best stories, and I mean, I hope you come back to Iceland again so we can talk much more.
Yes,
and
I will.
Bring some friends. Like, for instance, what would you see as a similarity and a difference between, like, let's say, hospitality, or the manner you accommodate friends, like between Iceland and Argentina? What are the similarities and what are the differences?
The similarities, I think people in Argentina can be very welcoming. Usually people say that we're very hospitable. I even know a friend who was also a flight attendant. Now he's living in Madrid, I think. And he said that he came from the USA, and he fell in love with Argentina, especially with Buenos Aires. and he really liked the way that Argentines welcomed him. So we are usually told that we are a very nice country to visit, also very interesting, and the people are very nice. But of course you have to be careful. In some cases it's not always safe, especially at night. You have to be careful. But well, I see that here people are very, very welcoming as well. They are very nice. I've had a wonderful experience. I'm having a wonderful experience so far. So that I think is one of the things that we have in common. And well, I see that here people usually trust more other people because it is safer.
Okay, and you said like the person fell in love with Argentina, especially Buenos Aires.
Yes.
Now in Iceland we have this cultural problem that the city and the countryside have to rely on each other, but they always are in such a little conflict because it's also like two different lifestyles, and many people have told me there are two different Icelands, Reykjavik and not Reykjavik. And you told me this really nice proverb in Argentina.
Yes.
Which tell us some more about it, and tell us some more about cities and countryside in Argentina.
Yeah, it is. There is a proverb that goes, "God is everywhere, but He only serves in Buenos Aires," and that is because in Buenos Aires you usually find. Like the means of transport and most of the cultural activities, hospitals, schools, especially in the city. But in other provinces the story can be completely different. Maybe it's also because I don't know very much about other provinces. So maybe there are a lot of cultural activities that I don't, that I mean they exist, but I don't know about them. It can be like Buenos Aires is one part of Argentina, and the rest, which is a pretty big part of Argentina, is not so populated, and because of this reason, because everything. Most of the opportunities are in Buenos Aires.
How many inhabitants do you have in Buenos Aires?
The last census was said that we are 44 million people.
Oh, wow. Like in, let's say, some little villages here, we are happy to have 44 people. So
yeah, and I'm sure that we are even more, but that is what they were able to count, but we're even more than 44 million, and this I think was like 6 years ago.
Oh wow. And growing. Like, is there okay, in Iceland this is a familiar problem that like everybody wants to move to the city because there are like different infrastructures and the housing prices are insane. Are you familiar with such problems?
Yes, as well. It's really difficult to own a property in Argentina, especially in Buenos Aires. Maybe in other parts, like outside the city, even in Buenos Aires, houses are cheaper, and in other provinces they are even cheaper. But anyway, they are expensive for our standards. So it is difficult to own a house. Maybe if you can administrate it well and you are good in business, you're good at doing business, that can be easier for you, but it is also a problem. Yes, especially because we have a lot of inflation. So you never know how much value your money will have tomorrow. So we cannot project, and that is kind of a problem.
That is actually also a very familiar matter here. Like, how did you learn about Iceland? You know that Iceland was in the news all over the world a couple of years ago because of the bank crash, but was that something you noticed, or is that...
No, you mean if I noticed it here
If you
now?
noticed if you noticed the bank crash on the news a couple of years ago.
I think, yeah, it rings a bell. I think it was in the news in Argentina. But I think, well, when I was a child, I think my father mentioned this country because my father was also, he didn't travel very much, but he was also a fan of traveling, and he knew a lot about history, geography. He wanted to travel all around the world, and he mentioned this country to me. I think he told me like a tale or something. Asterix and Obelisk, and I think that is when he mentioned this country. And well, for some reason it has always attracted me, it has always caught my attention. And yeah, I think, I don't know exactly why, but I feel that sometimes the destinations I choose have chosen me before. In fact, for some reason I feel that they called me, and this is pretty interesting because it's like destiny, and it's my destination. The destination I chose me before, I think.
That's a really interesting thought. What do you think of like predetermination, or like some parts of life being predetermined?
I don't know really. I'm an agnostic myself, so I don't know. I just I just suspend judgment in that respect. I feel that it can be possible. I'm just open to all the views. Maybe some things are predetermined, and maybe some others are just a matter of luck. But whatever the situation is, we just have to let it go, because if everything has been already decided, we don't need to make decisions, and if they haven't been decided, we just have to flow with whatever comes, and the life will just guide us.